안녕하세요, 최준욱 프로입니다. 크리스메이슨과 같이 코칭을 배우고 PGA 선수들이 어떻게 훈련하는지를 제가 1년 동안 배워왔는데요. 테크닉적으로 좋은 스윙을 어떻게 치는지에 대한 영상은 우리나라에 많이 있지만 최연소 국가대표 안성현 선수가 어떤 생각을 갖고 훈련을 하고 어떤 환경에서 배우고 있는지, 플레이를 할 때 무슨 생각을 하고 치는지, 현역 PGA 코치를 하고 있는 크리스메이슨이 어떤 방식으로 코칭을 하는지, 선수들에게 전달은 어떻게 하고 멘탈이나 코스 공략, 연습장에서는 어떤 생각을 해야 되는지, 골프를 임할 때 어떤 태도를 가져야 하고 어떤 마음가짐을 가져야 하는지를 배울 수 있는 영상이라고 생각합니다. 진심으로 골프를 치는 주니어 선수, 주니어 부모님, 그리고 프로 지망생, 나아가서 현역 선수들을 위해서 이 영상을 공개합니다. 소중한 영상을 끝까지 잘 지켜봐 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
저희 WGP의 대표 선수를 소개합니다.
안녕하세요. 비봉중학교 3학년 국가대표 안성현 선수입니다.
최고의 기대주죠. 오늘 그 크리스메이슨과 안성현 선수와 케니킴 프로님하고 오늘 코스에서 뭘 할 건지 크리스메이슨이 한번 얘기해 주시겠어요?
Yeah, so yesterday we had a really great technical lesson on the range with Sung here. He was complaining about getting a little bit of a pull draw when he's trying to hit a cut. Now what we did was a little bit of a technical change where the club stayed outside his hands on the backswing, which would get the face a little bit more open, and that completely eliminated his left shot. But what that's created is a little bit of a bandwidth, which is a dispersion amount. On his good shots, he's getting a very straight, maybe a little cut. On his bad shots, it's a little extra cut. So what we're going to do now is come out to the golf course and I'm going to show him how to play for that miss and that dispersion rate. That's number one. Number two, it's very important that we run a great mental process. I have a very specific mental process that I want my players to run. It's 5 steps. Number one, you're going to decide what you want to happen. Number two, you're going to visualize what you want to happen. That's the seeing the shot. Number three, you're going to feel what you want to happen in your body. The amount of meters that you want to hit it, and kind of getting a feeling for the shape and the correct swing that you want. Number four, you're going to commit to that feeling on the ball. That's the hitting the ball part. And then number 5 would be a post-shot routine. In the post-shot routine, you're going to do 2 things. Number one, you're going to gain confidence if you hit a great shot and say to yourself, wow, that was really a great shot. I'm a really good iron player. I'm a really good putter. If the ball didn't come out the way you want, you're going to try and learn from it. Why did my ball overcut and how am I going to make that change that next time? So if you follow that 5-step plan, decide what you want, visualize what you want, feel what you want, commit to what you want, and then post-shot routine, you're going to be well on your way to learning and growing and gaining confidence in every shot that you hit. It's going to definitely improve your scores.
그러면 지금부터 안성현 선수와 크리스메이슨의 그 코스 공략이나 멘탈 프로세스를 한번 시청하시겠습니다. 가시죠. Here we go. 용인 프라자 CC 타이거 코스 1번 홀입니다. 여기 공략을 어떻게 하실 거죠?
제 구질이 페이드이기 때문에
네.
벙커에서 한 10야드 정도 우측을 보고 좀 페이드 한 10야드 정도 칠 생각입니다.
오케이.
Perfect. So number one, decide what you want. He's got a very specific decision as to where it's going to start and how much it's going to move. Now, in our technical practice, we created a bandwidth for him, which is basically a dispersion rate. So we eliminated any left shots by creating a better first move. But now his worst shot is moving about 25 meters to the right. So what he's trying to do is pick a target where if he hits it straight, it's fine. And if he slices it 25 meters, it's still going to be fine. But at least now he's going to be able to play and keep the ball in play.
성현아, 공략할 때 지금 크리스가 얘기한 게 너가 굿샷이 나도 괜찮고 너가 가장 큰 미스를 했을 때가 25야드 오른쪽으로 휘는 샷이 나오잖아.
네.
우리가 밴드위스를 그걸 갖고 있으니까 그럼 네가 가장 큰 미스가 나도 상관없는 위치를 봐야 돼. 오케이? 그걸 생각하고 결정했지? 오케이. 그럼 하면 돼.
Things in the air forever. Good. Ball kind of did what we wanted it to do, but obviously it moved on the wind. What's the shot gonna do?
근데 살짝 그 라인 들어오라여서 근데 그냥 똑바로 가거나 살짝 페이드 나게 치려고.
Okay. So that's number one. So number one, you're trying to make a very, very specific decision as to what you want to happen. Number two, we're going to visualize what you want, and this is where I want to put some breathing in there. So you and I have worked in America on your breathing pattern. So what I want you to do is go 3 paces behind the ball, right? You're going to keep your eyes staring at your target. Don't take your eyes off the target. From there, you're going to take a breath through your nose for 4 seconds, hold it for 1, and then blow it out for. You should feel like your feet are getting very heavy and then your body's relaxing. You should feel like your energy is really tight to the target. So now from there, give me the practice swing that you want to. Does that feel right? Good. Okay. And then number 4, commit to that feeling. Number 5 would be post-shot routine. So did you do what you wanted to do in the feeling part? So then from there, you're trying to separate the result from the process. So you have this strong sense of like, this is the swing that I want to happen. And then you commit to that feeling on the ball. This is what I want to happen. And if you did what you wanted, then that's a great mental process. Then when you look up, you hit an amazing shot. So in the post-shot routine, you'd be like, wow, that was exactly the right feeling. I'm such a great 3-wood player. If the ball didn't do what you wanted, you're going to try and learn why it did not. So you're constantly making these adjustments throughout the round so that you can get better on each hole, right? So it's growth mindset. So you're going to gain confidence, which is going to make you better, or you're going to learn something from it, which is also going to make you better.
클럽을 2개 너가 사용하는 클럽을 가지고 가서 상황을 보고 어떤 게 확률이 높을 건지를 저기서 결정을 하고 여기서 결정하는 게 아니라
네.
여기는 라이를 보고 저희 가서 다시 한번 체크하고.
네.
So the mental process doesn't change even as you start getting closer to the hole, right? So number 1, decide what you want. I want you to tell me where you're going to land it and how far you're going to carry it.
47야드인데요.
47야드.
42야드, 41야드 정도.
Okay, so he's landing 6 short of the flag, okay? And then same thing, I just want him to visualize the shot before he gets into his practice swing.
연습하기 전에 상상해야 되거든요.
Yeah.
멘탈 프로세스.
Yeah.
아까 똑같이 타겟
so
보고
visualize and take the deep breath. Once you see what you want, then you get in there and do the practice feeling.
자 42야드.
Good. Very nice shot, but it's like difficult to get back there. So he was trying to hit it how far?
42.
Good, and he hit it 33.
예. 40야에서 30만 쳤어.
Yeah.
야드는 한 36?
36야드 친 거야.
괜찮아요.
And then let's practice the 54 because it should be a little easier to get back there. So now all he has to do, I want your feet closer together, and then you're going to try and land it basically in the middle of the green and let it skip back.
캐리가 달라져야 되겠지.
33야드?
Okay, so just didn't quite get the distance on it, but much easier to get the right trajectory for this shot with the back pin. Do you want to try that again while he's got the feel for it? Same shot. Like even on the putting green, the mental process doesn't really change, right? Number 1, decide what you want. That's the reading the green piece. Number 2 would be visualization. That's seeing the ball go in the hole. Number 3, feel what you want. That's the practice stroke. Does this feel like the right amount of speed? Number 4 would be committing to that stroke on the ball. And then number 5 would be post-shot routine. What did I learn? Did I get the speed right? And then was my read right?
아까 2가지 그린 리딩하는 방법 알려줬잖아.
네.
그 똑바로 쳤을 때 얼마나 흘러갈지
네.
그리고 아까 그 투어 리드로 너가 퍼센티지 느끼고 그거 보는 거 있는데 어떤 걸로 선택했어?
투어리드.
투어 리드로?
네.
오케이.
Right edge.
Did you hit a good putt?
네.
Good. So what did we learn?
나이가 생각보다 없어.
Right? So great opportunity for us to learn and have a look at like, okay, what was I missing? Like, what did I feel? Like I felt like it was going this way, but like maybe, like if you come and stand right here, you can kind of you can actually feel it's kind of on and move the other way a little bit.
뭔가
딱 서서 멈춰.
왼쪽이 느껴지는. 왼쪽이 좀 높은 것 같아. 지금
왼쪽이 다시 쓰니까.
네.
There you go. Starting to creep the other way.
반대로 먹으니
미스. 그린 리딩을 미싱한 거야.
Right, but you like every mental process on every one of those shots was very, very good. So we're running this mental process unemotionally, trying to learn things that are going to help us as we move forward.
이 미스샷 났을 때 떨어지지 않는 거야, 그렇지? 너 실망하지 않아도 되는 거야. 왜냐면 라이를 잘못 파악할 수도 있잖아, 사람이. 그러면 그거를 너가 다시 가서 아, 내가 라이를 잘못 봤구나. 발을 다시 한번 느껴서 그걸 너가 라이를 거꾸로 본 이유를 파악했잖아, 발로. 그럼 다음번에는 저기 가서 다시 넣을 수 있겠지.
Tiger Woods would say you should never hit a shot that if you hit dead straight is going to get you in trouble. So like on this shot here, like he's hit what he thought was a very good drive, but it was too far right because it's just cold and it's his first swing of the day. Like now if he hits a dead straight shot here, like you can't be hitting a dead straight shot in the trees. Par 5, he's in trouble already. So now you're trying to hit a shot that if he hits it dead straight, he's still going to be in the fairway, and if it cuts, then great. So what he should be doing is lasering. I'm guessing it's probably 150, right? And then trying to hit a 150 shot with cut. So go grab your laser and like a 7 and 8 iron and a 6 iron.
249 yards.
Okay.
이런 2. 어떻게 할 거야?
핀 보고
핀 보고?
핀 살짝 뻥카는 핀 사이 보고.
오케이.
How far is he going to try and land this?
55야드.
Did you do what you wanted?
너무 짧게 쳤어요.
He's talking about the result. Did he do what he wanted to do?
스윙을 하면 되는데 터치가
Okay. So like what we're talking about is the difference between the process oriented and results oriented, right? And it's like you should be over there and be like, this is my 55 shot. This is my 55 shot.
55야드.
Boom. Yep. I hear that 55. But I want him to have a feeling for what 55 is and then commit to that. And then if the result's no good, then he just needs to practice, right? Because the touch isn't good enough.
야, 몇년 줄 건데?
When you're doing yardage acquisition, right? So like you should be doing pin first and then uphill or downhill. Did you do uphill here? No. So let's say it's 2 up. So now we're at 147, and then you would do wind, but no wind, and then you do temperature. Like so for me, 147, I would be trying to make the machine say 155. I would do 8 meters because it's 45 degrees out. And then for you, Sung, like I find it very easy to visualize his shot because I know the ball's going to cut. So what I would be doing with him is taking his worst amount of fade, right, which with a 8 iron is probably 30 feet, and I would be taking the edge of the right green and going 30 feet left of that.
So he's gonna aim left of the.
Yeah. So I would have him aim about 10 feet left of the pin. So if he hits a great shot, it's 10 feet left. If he hits a bad shot, he's on the edge of the green. Did he do what he wanted?
너가 생각한 대로 했어?
네.
153. So then when we get up to the hole, right, we're going to see like how far long or short he is based off this number, and then we've got a number that's exact for this temperature. So 145 was actual pin number, and we hit at 153, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to your pitch mark. So your ball went 150. So we actually only had 3 yards of cold. And then we went 1, 2, 3. We had 3 yards of roll on for the firmness of the green. So for me, it's like now I know, okay, I don't have to add so much for the cold. But I also know any shots that are going on this far, like my pitching wedge is probably going to go on 1 yard. My 5 iron's probably going to go on 5 yards. And then the other thing, now seeing this green, like that's a very violent slope. I gave you a miss to the edge of the green, but like now seeing this, I would have had the miss to be on the pin because there's no way I would have wanted to be right of this pin. So like every single shot we hit, every single one is an opportunity for us to learn something that's going to help us in the next hole, in the next shot, in the next round. There's a tour read algorithm, right? I don't think I've taught it to him. 1, 2. pin. So you're doing the number of paces times by 2, which is 20. So on a 1% slope, this would be 20 inches out. 1%. But like this is 4%. So it would be 20. You'd be 80 inches. There's the read.
That's in.
Perfect read.
That's in.
Did he do what he wanted?
Yeah.
Good. I mean, it's. I know it's not a perfect shot, but it's a great shot, right? It's like it started on his line, it did what he wanted. Like I know he's working on his swing. His swing looks much better than last night. Excellent. I'd want to know where the pin position is, and then I'd be trying to lay up to my favorite number that creates the correct trajectory and spin to attack the pin.
핀까지 한 300m.
Does that include uphill?
오르막했어요. 90m.
So he likes 90 meter, 90 yards or 90 yards. 90 yards.
90m.
Meter. So
100야드.
100
Now, most of the time, guys, you're going to be better off getting as close to the pin as you can. So the situation would be like if maybe the pin's on the front and the greens are hard. Maybe the pin's on the front and it's downwind. Or maybe I don't feel good from like 50 to 60 yards, right? But basically something where I'm like, I feel much better having a full shot with the spin that I want versus an in-between shot. What does he think this lie is going to do?
Yeah, a little draw.
Okay. I'm a little uncomfortable, but let's hit the shot and we can chat. Good. Down a little bit, and it's above him. So just for everything to me, it felt to me like it was, if anything, going to be like a little chunky and over here. Like he did it well. Like personally, if I was caddying for him, I would probably have him go to 5 wood and then like purposely come steep to guarantee contact and then try and hit it straight to little cut. Like you're basically aiming in a place where if I hit it dead straight, it's fine. And then he's trying to like squeeze cut a little bit. So just get a little steeper and like, yeah, excellent. Excellent.
그런데 이렇게 다운힐 라이에서 특별히 신경 써야 되는 게 있냐고 물어봐요.
다운이?
Good.
내리막이잖아.
You go a little bit wider with your feet, and I would try and get the club as flat on the floor as you can. The tendency for good players is actually for the heel to grab and the face to shut, and they hit pulls. With the good players, they're trying to get the handle almost feeling like a little higher, so they can kind of guarantee the cut. But a lot of good players hit pulls off that. So let's add 2 yards for cold. And then it's probably going to bounce on. So because we're going uphill, the landing angle's not going to be as steep. So it's probably going to roll on a bit more. Let's do 3 off of the actual number. So we'll go 79.
$88.
88.
저 건물 우측 끝부분 살짝 왼쪽으로.
So I would be having him like pick a window. It's a beautiful shot. We're coming down to exactly what he needs to work on. He's just not good enough from 130 yards and in. You're an incredible ball striker. Like incredible. The difference is like a PGA Tour player is super pissed if they're 3 yards off on that last shot. He's 9 yards off. Like with where the pin is on the front, I wouldn't be taking 3 yards off. I would just keep it on the pin number. And if he hits the pin number and it goes on 3 yards, that's fine too. So 111 on the quad. You'd turn your left toe out slightly. You'd put your knee over the toe so that the pressure stays into that left toe. That'll keep the spine moving in this direction, and you'll be able to stay down in the shot. The tendency from this lie is to try and help it up. And then it's thin and right. Right? So now because this is downwind and the pin's on the front, this is a very difficult shot. So like this is where when I'm out on tour, like the tour players, although they're trying to hit this really close, they're basically just trying to hit it where Sung's ball is like 20 feet long. If they've left them this shot, right, which is which is not a full wedge on the downslope to a front pin, they've already made a mistake. So now they're like, okay, if I miss this, it's going to go to the pin. If I hit it good, it's 20 feet long. Let's try this one, Ollie. So we'll go handle higher, right? Have no hinge, and then just run it through. Yeah, that shot that I was teaching the kids yesterday. So try and get the heel up and get the face open. Keep going. There you go. So basically, what you're doing is like dragging the toe on the ground, and then you're dragging the toe on the ground. Well, that came out lovely. That came out pretty good, though.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try on.
Yeah, that was much better.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, that's much better than the bunker.
140, 140.
We hit a note 140, and he's 11 short, so we needed 151, right? So in my mind, it's like, okay, we had 160, came down 15, 145, and then you hit it 140. We were 11 short, so we needed 151, so I think it is down 15, right? So either the wind and the cold is like adding 6 yards. Pat?
스윙은 네가 원하는 대로 했어?
아니 좀 잘 안 된 것 같아.
그러니까 너 안 되는 거 아는데 너가 원하게 스윙 딱 커밋했냐고. 네가 원하는 스윙을
시도했어?
네, 시도했어.
Yeah, you did.
So, like, I think he's playing the wrong shot here, right? So you got hazard down the left, and you got OB right. Right, you can't hit it OB because OB were right back where we started. At least if it's hazard, you're up there. So I would have you tee up as far right as you can, right? And then take the worst shot that he could hit, which I would say is the one he just hit, which is like 30 yards a slice. Take the out of bounds and go 30 yards left. So now that, for me, that puts him basically down the edge of the hazard, right? So go down the edge of the hazard and try to hit a straight shot. And be okay if it goes in the hazard. There you go. All done.
이거는 스윙을 잘못한 게 아니라 완벽하게 공략을 잘못한 거야.
Listen to what Ollie just told me.
There's one thing that you can't do on this hole. It's go right. If you go left, it's hazard, which is okay. So you want to hit a shot that you make sure does not go right.
That's what I learned caddying from Steele. Like he would have these shots where he's like, if I cannot go right, I hit this shot, and if I cannot go left, I hit this shot. So even that, like he fades his driver every time, and it's like if he knows it's going to fade, it's like you got to aim over here. If you don't feel comfortable aiming over here, could you maybe aim right with a 3-wood and try and turn it over, right? So at least then it's going away from the out of bounds. I think, well, then you're doing exactly what we did, which is basically taking a bandwidth, and it's like, okay, my worst shot right now is like he's got like a 30-yard slice, which is fine, but you're then taking like from the edge of that and going 30 yards left, which is what we just did. Right, so the nice thing is the lesson last night fixed the left shot. So now we're trying to get him to hit it straight. So let's hit 2 shots here. The first one, left side of the fairway, just let it cut like we've been doing. Beautiful. Excellent. Okay. Now we'll go full technical. You're going to do same backswing, but try and release it to hit it straight. Still aim in the same spot.
Different release or just straight?
Or he's going to square it up, right? Because we've got the face open now on the backswing, which has stopped him hitting pull draws. So now from there, it's like, okay, well, he's got to release it to try and get the face square. Aim a tiny more right. Still left it open.
103, 109
This is only plus 5.
아빠랑 해서
against wind,
5 보고
plus 5,
114.
114.
5 for wind?
아 온도까지
Rest?
합쳐서 온도까지.
Yeah.
온도까지 합쳐서 한 110.
마이너스 플러스 3하래. 뭐야?
3에서 112에다가 온도가 2에서
No.
114.
Okay.
114.
어디 봐?
핀 한 1년 우측.
1 yard right of flag.
It's a better shot.
112. 딱 괜찮았어. 2야드.
어떻게 칠 거야?
약간 힌지앤 홀드.
인젠 홀?
Shot.
다음 주 안성현 선수는 5월 2일부터 5월 5일까지 KPGA GS 칼텍스 매경 오픈에 출전합니다. 갤러리도 많이 가주시고 많은 응원 부탁드리겠습니다. 감사합니다.
원바운드, 투바운드. 원바운드?
You do what you wanted?
내가 커밋했어? 네. 20 yard 28야드.
He hit a perfect shot.
네가 생각을 천 거야. 네.
Perfect shot.
퍼펙트 샷.
You've got two options here, the way I see it. And this is where it's very important with the short game process that we analyze the lie first. I think he's got very unlucky here because the lie is bad. So he's a little lit back into the grain here and it's a little wet. Ideally on this shot he would hit something higher and spinnier and softer, but because the lie was the way it was, it's very difficult to do off of this lie, right? So what I want to do is hit two more shots. He's going to try and play the same shot again, but I want him to try and draw it, right? And then the second shot, we're going to try and play the high spin. Because you could see he hit a perfect shot there and it just went.
그 언덕을 차고 올라가기 위해서.
So he's going to land it in the same spot, but this time with some draw spin. Can you play the ball a little further back, more to the right toe? Very good. Right, so two exactly the same shots. One's come in lower with draw, so it chased up, right?
하나는 드로우 스핀 먹인데
One just stopped.
하나는
Okay.
멈추고 하나는 굴러가고.
Now just to try, let's try and hit the high.
한번 트라이 한번 해보자. 이거는 58도로 뛰어서.
I think this is a tougher shot. So this is going to feel more like a fade,
이거는 약간 꽤 느낌.
like a high fade. Good. Like I would say that is a very good shot too. He's not going to make bogey from there. He's got a chance for birdie. So a lot of what we're doing here is making a decision as to like, am I in a good position to make a birdie here? Like even though we're close to the hole here, this is a very difficult shot. So we're trying to pick a shot that goes to the pin or slightly long. So even there, he's got a 20-footer for birdie. He's going to make a birdie or he's going to make a par. But that was really nice. So we kind of learned a little different shot there. So like this is how unlucky this was, right? He got there, but if he was here, it's down green. All of a sudden this shot's really easy. He's got a yard here and now it's into the green and in the,
여기는 프리기 때문에 스핀 매기 어렵다는 거야.
like,
너 운이 안 좋은 거야 이런 데는.
right? It's like this shot's much easier. I taught you a different way of reading the green, which is looking at the hole and aiming at the hole and imagining where you would miss the putt. So let's do that on this one and then we'll run equivalent. So if you were to aim this putt at the hole, where do you think you would miss?
어느 정도 휘어지는지. 똑바로 쳤을 때 그 정도 휘어질 것 같아?
Okay, so then you'd go the same equivalent the other side. Right, so that gives us a really good starting point. So then from there you'd kind of visualize it and be like, do I feel like that's the right amount of break? Personally, I think the greens are too slow for it to break that much. So I think it's a little bit less, but
덜 먹을 것 같지만 그래도 한번 쳐볼.
wow, he had it.
컷.
That was a great read.
잘했어.
Yeah.
잘 라이 본 거야 너가.
Well done. Well done. Good. So this is really good. Now we're talking about yardage acquisition, right? So in yardage acquisition, we go pin first, then we go uphill or downhill, then we go wind, we go then temperature, and then if we need to land it short or long, depending on how firm or soft the greens are. So we're trying to get to a playing number, and what we love here about the foresight quad is that we're basically trying to get that number on the quad. Right, so let's run through that again. We had 191 to the pin, uphill 7, 198. We think the wind's a little into.
윈이 어떻게 돼 바람이?
그냥 똑바로 훅
도와주는 거 안 도와주는 거?
Just straight across,
Yeah, cross.
right? Based off the last hole, right? So nothing for wind, and then it's a little bit cold. How much we're going to add for the cold?
200야드.
Okay, good. So now we're at 200, right?
200다 우리가 결정한 거.
So that's how we're going to get to decide what you want. Now, we've got a very difficult hole. We had a couple of easier holes where we just missed out on our birdie, but this is a very difficult hole. So we're trying to create a shot where we kind of guarantee ourselves a par and maybe we get a birdie chance. So we know with your fade, what we want to do is take the most amount of fade right miss that you would have and take the pin and go that far left. So I think you should be aiming at that tree that's about 30 feet to the left of the pin. And this is very hard for people to understand is a great shot is going to end up 30 feet left and your bad shot is going to move towards the pin. But either way you make a par or a birdie.
성현아, 핵심이 밴드위스의 핵심은 너가 그 굿샷이 나와도 30피트, 그게 10m고 최악의 샷으로 가도 너가 핀으로 붙는 거니까 되게 마음 편하게 먹을 수 있겠지. 오케이.
Did you do what you wanted?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so did the ball go left because of your old move or did the ball go left because of the wind? Yeah, so let's come and have a look. Let's have a look at the...
지금 보자.
So we're looking for the club head to track up through shaft plane, up through your hands. The swing was great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really
doesn't
good.
matter.
So we know that it was the wind that moved it over.
생각보다 바람이 셌네.
Right? So now we learned next time we have something like this, maybe we can go a little closer to the pin because the wind's moving it this way. But either way, that's a great miss over there, and then the chip's very, very easy. What was our number?
넘버 뭐야? 196.
Okay, so about four yards. Okay, good. Well done.
190? 190?
10야드.
10 yards. 190.
190.
Oh, okay. We're trying to hit 200. Did you hit it solid?
잘 쳤어?
살짝 위에 맞았어.
Little high in the face.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Does anyone hit another one?
하나 더 쳐. 바람 때문에.
So this time, because of the wind, we'll go a little bit more aggressive. Sung, let's play a very aggressive shot. And we'll go at the left edge of that bush behind. This is a very aggressive
우리
shot.
안쪽.
So what we're doing is basically like having his cut hold the wind.
핀보다 5야드 왼쪽.
Old swing there, wasn't it? Swing okay? Really?
아, 솔직하게 얘기해봐.
뭐진 느낌은 약간 테이크는 괜찮은데 이렇게 맞을 때 다쳐가지고.
Take away, okay? Impact, close base.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of wind. I mean, it's just not a shot you can get close to, right? It's like he's got a right pin with a right to left wind with an absolutely don't miss right shot, right? So it's like I want his miss to go on the pin. You know what I mean? Like those two shots are pretty good shots, but it's like he's hit it straight and it's just kind of moved. The only way he would get it close is aiming at the pin and then like hitting a bad shot that kind of holds. Does that make sense?
So it's hard to hit it close.
Yeah, but I mean, you could stand here and hit 100 balls and not hit one close. So great players, and this is what I've learned being on the PGA Tour, is like the best ball strikers in the world recognize that this is a very difficult shot, and they make sure they miss it over here. Let's say I play this 4 times, I make my 3 pars and make a bogey. So I average 3.25, and the tour's averaging 3.6. I'm trying to birdie the first hole because I got a wedge in. Trying to birdie the second hole because I got a wedge in. Trying to make a par here.
상현아, 어디 보고 칠 거야?
5야드 왼쪽.
오케이, 다시 한번 시도해보는 거야?
5 yard left.
Let's play a silly shot here.
Okay.
Let's do a silly shot. Give me one that aim right edge and try and cut it. Right edge of the green. And then we just hope that the wind kind of holds it. Right? It's the only way it's going to get it closed. This is a great shot.
바람이 정말 센 거야, 그지? 그러니까 여기서 너가 알아야 되는 거는 첫 번째 샷을 놨을 때 너가 착각하면 안 돼, 그지? 너 스윙을 의심하지 마. 그래서 제일 첫 번째가 상황을 파악하는 거고 바람을 확인하는 거잖아, 그지? 그러니까 의심하기 시작하면은 스윙이 계속 너가 18홀 동안 네 스윙을 유지할 수가 없어.
Check this out.
그지?
So I have a short game process that I want my players to use. Number one, they're going to analyze the lie. The lie is going to dictate how much spin you can create. Number two, you're going to pick a landing spot, preferably on the same flatness of the green, and preferably 10 feet on the green, 3 meters. So for this shot, I would be coming up and going 1, 2, 3. That's where I want the landing spot to be. Okay, now come here. And then from there, you're visualizing the trajectory and spin you need to get it to land on your spot and go in the hole. We know this is a chip and run. What we're trying to figure out is what club we're going to use for the chip and run. Right? Now, what I'm going to do is take from where the ball is to where the pin is and cut it in half. So we know our landing spot there is about 35%. Now, 35% carry to run is usually a 9-iron, right? So, you have a ball. If you just run a normal 9-iron chip and run, right, and try and land it on that spot, a little too hard. So maybe because it's a little downhill, maybe pitching wedge will be perfect. So let's train it. Good, so that landed right on our spot, didn't it? Good. And then really good distance. Excellent. So it's really, like, it just makes a really like, kind of complicated shot where we could do 10 things and you were just like, no, this is the one thing I'm going to do.
여기가 이제 지금 여기 떨어뜨리면 10피트인데 슬라이스 라인이라고 조금 내리막이잖아요. 저쪽은 평지인데 평지성 오르막인데 그럼 어디 떨고 좋은
Yeah, I would love for him to land it on the flat spot, but then that's going to be a different shot. But let's try that too, right? But now it's probably not a chip and run now, right? So the flat spot would be here. Then what shot would he hit to land it there? So, like, which shot did he think was easier?
어떤 샷이 더 쉬웠어? pitching wedge?
Yeah.
그럼 되는 거야.
아니 성현아, 이게 너가 지금 궁금한 점을 내가 알 것 같은데, 이 다운 슬로프에서 여기를 랜딩을 하지 말라고 평지를 찾으라고 한 이유는 이 다운 슬로프에 맞게 되면 이 같은 랜딩 지점에도 토탈 거리가 많이 달라져. 당연히 이쪽에 경사도에 많은 데 맞으면 빠르게 나갈 거고 여긴 좀 덜 나갈 거고, 불규칙하니까 평지를 찾아서 거기서 랜딩을 하라고 한 건데, 여기서는 너가 그 샌드하고 피칭하고 그 불편했던 것들이 뭐가 달랐는지를 너가 알고 가야 돼. 그러니까 샌드를 찾게 됐을 때는 저긴 평지긴 그 이점은 있지만 다른 것들이 피칭이 더 스윙이 작으니까 컨택하기가 더 편했던 거야. 근데 만약에 이렇게 너가 뭐 여기가 랜딩 지점이 플랫하지 않고 경사져 있으면 플랫한 데가 이점이 있는 건 확실히 있어. 무슨 말인지 알지? 당연히 여기는 그거에 대한 그 불편한 게 있는 거야. 왜냐면 불규칙하니까 토탈 거리가. Okay.
What we're trying to do is pick a landing spot where if you execute short, left, right, or long, the ball's going to react the same way. That's why we're trying to pick a landing spot. And I've never met a person who's better at a big swing than they are a small swing. Like that's why I want it 3 meters away, because like if someone tries to land it here and they land it there,
여기다 랜딩하는데 갑자기 잠깐만 여기 맞으면 어떻게
it's totally different.
그래서 세 발자국 그린에서 둘셋 했을 때 좀 실수하더라도 그린 가잖아. 근데 여기 랜딩하는 다음에 좀 뒷땅 맞고 하면 바로 줄퍼덕 하니까. 큰 스윙 할수록 더 실수 많이 나오니까 최대한.
Right, so we went to the range and we talked about how to control the dynamic loft as it's coming into the ball. The dynamic loft is the loft of the club delivered when it hits the ball.
다이나믹 로프트가 뭐냐면 맞을 때 이 헤드의 각도, 맞을 때 각도, 런치 앵글이랑 다른 거야. 맞을 때 헤드의 각도.
So I gave Song a little drill to create the impact position with this lead wrist more flexed to de-loft the club, and then just turn and swing through with that feeling. So show me that practice swing that we were doing this morning. Beautiful. So let's hit a shot with the drill. How far are we trying to hit this?
86야드인데 바람 살짝 있어가지고 3야드 정도.
마이너스 3.
그리고 날씨 한 2야드.
weather plus 2.
Okay, so 91.
91야드.
89.
오케이, 89.
Okay, so why don't you show us the drill swing? And what we're trying to do is get this to launch somewhere around 30 degrees.
그 PGA 선수들이 28도에서 32도 사이로 항상 웨지 컨트롤 한다고 그래. 그게 가장 거리감이 좋다고 하니까.
What a great shot. So that's launched at 23 degrees, so a little lower on the face, but it's done exactly what we wanted to in terms of controlling that launch and start line direction. Really great shot. So now let's play the same shot, but without using the drill.
이게 바람이 불 때 이렇게 낮게 치는 웨지샷을 할 줄 알면 되게 이점이 있어. 바람이 영향을 많이 안 타니까. 웨지는 원래 스핀이 많기 때문에 앞바람 불면은 거리가 확 달라지잖아. 그 상황에 훈련하는 거야 지금. 오케이?
Oh, good shot. Very good. So launching at 24. So now compared to how he was hitting his wedges this morning, which were getting up way too high, now he's able to get it launching in the right window, and therefore he's making it controlling his distances better. What most players don't realize is depending on which window they hit it in, it actually affects the yardage. Right? So I was speaking to Keegan Bradley about a shot. We were out on the PGA Tour and I said, okay, Keegan, with this amount of wind in, like how much extra are you going to hit it? Yeah, so I said to him, okay, with this amount of wind, what yardage are you going to play it? You got to know, like, if I'm going to flight this down or not, how is the wind going to affect it?
Okay.
Good.
오케이.
성현이 너가 웨지 컨트롤이 되게 스스로가 부족하다고 느꼈었잖아. 근데 그거를 개선하기 위해서 우리가 알아야 되는 거는 크리스를 통해 PGA 선수들이 어떤 식으로 생각하고 플레이하는지. 너가 그냥 지금 단순히 예전에는 내 감각을 기르려고 연습만 많이 하면 된다라고 생각했었잖아. 근데 그것보다는 우리가 가장 이상적인 그 런치 앵글을 배웠고 선수들이 훈련하는 런치 앵글, 그래서 탄도를 조절하기 위해서 낮게 칠 때 어떤 드릴이 필요한지 얘기를 했고 그걸 훈련을 통해서 너가 실전에서 경험을 했잖아 지금. 근데 우리가 대단히 많은 양의 연습볼을 많이 치지 않았잖아. 근데 너의 그 웨지 플레이가 내가 봤을 때 상당히
Nice.
좋아졌거든.
That bounce is quite firm, isn't it?
그거를 너가 이거 잘 기억하고 앞으로 연습을 할 때 물론 감각도 중요하지만 우리가 그 크리스가 얘기했듯이 PGA 상위권 선수들은 탄도 조절하는 게 세 가지 룸이 있다고 했잖아. 높은, 중간, 낮은 탄도. 그거에 따른 클락 시스템이 다 있으니까 너가 그거 개선하면 내가 봤을 때 너 정말 잘할 수 있을 것 같아. 오케이? 자신감 가져도 될 것 같아. 웨지 플레이 넌 더 이상 약한 게 아니야. 오케이?
And then once you've got a good feeling for where that correct point contact is, then move into the ball and see if you can get the same contact. So good. Get in.
Oh!
Good shot. Now, that's for a flat lie. If you're going to go on an uphill like this, you're going to try and get your spine neutral with the slope and then kick 10%. So here we are on the flat, I'm 50-50. I kick 10%. Here, I try and get my spine neutral to the slope, kick 10%. If I'm on the down slope here, I'm going to turn this left toe out, get my spine neutral, kick 10%. That will get the spine in a position where you can enter the sand in the right spot every time. Okay, so let's have you hit an uphill one and a downhill one.
성현아 설명 다시 한번 해줄게. 일단은 벙커샷을 잘 치는 사람들은 그 로우 포인트가 일정하다는 거는 땅에 치는 그 위치가 항상 같다는 거지. 그 훈련을 라인을 그어서 우리가 했어. 그리고 하고 난 다음에 이제 벙커 플레이를 할 때 평지일 경우에는 이 기울기를 주지 않아. 상체의 기울기를 주지 않고 그냥 웨인만 왼쪽으로 싣는 거야. 그걸 치면 되고 너가 하던 대로. 그리고 왼발 오르막일 때는 너의 기울기가 이 경사에 맞는 자연스러운 기울기를 만든 상태에서 체중을 왼쪽으로 실어야 되는 거야. 오케이? 그리고 다운힐 라이에는 중요한 게 왼발을 좀 먼저 열어야 되는 거야. 평상시보다 더 많이 열고 그다음에 이 여기가 왼쪽으로 기울지진 않고 그냥 똑같이 평지처럼 똑같이 하고 거기서 웨이트를 왼쪽으로 실는 거야. 오케이? 그러면 그거 잘 기억해야 되겠다. 그지? 오르막과 내리막 평지가 지금 타법이 좀 다르지. 위치 셋업이 좀 다르지. 뭐부터 해볼까? 오르막부터.
So spine's going to be neutral
스파인 척추
with the slope, not with the horizon, and then he's going to push. There you go. Beautiful.
알았어.
So then we'll go on the downhill. Obviously with the downhill, the ball's going to come out lower, so therefore it's going to run more. So level and then kick 10%. Good. I think he knows what he's doing.
잘하네.
이거는?
Very good. And then if he's got a plugged lie, maybe not like that, but something like this. Here's a little trick. He's going to open the face up and put the heel right in the middle of the ball. So from there, he's going to drive the heel into the ground and then kick through. So it almost looks like he's going to shank it. That's what he's going to try and do. It's almost like he's going to shank it. He's just going to pop the club in the ground. And then the ball can actually come out high and soft.
또 궁금한 거 있어?
한 30야드 정도 있잖아요.
30, 40 yards
거?
bunker shot.
근데 거기서 약간 보통 이제 공간이 이제 많으면은 그냥 뭐 50도나 이런 거로 전 치는데 좀 앞핀에서 한 번에 세워야 될 때는
So he has 30, 40 yards, right? Back pin, he can pitching wedge, whatever, that's fine. Then what if the pin's front? That's the.
So what I want him to have is sort of a full swing baseline for every shot. So he'd be in here, normal setup, face open, full swing, how far does 58 go? Full swing, how far does 54 go? Full swing, how far does 50 go? Like my bet is that his 54 goes 30 yards. So let's try that. So I don't want him to try to hit it anywhere. Just do a big the most full swing he can. There you go. Just go stand on his ball and laser song.
33
와우. 54도?
Right? But like I want him to know how far his full swing lob wedge goes. I want him to know how far his full swing 50 goes. 99 and 89.
9번, 8번 아이까지.
Then he's got some good options, right? And if you've got a 50-yard bunker shot, you've probably made a mistake in the first place. Okay.
Okay?
너무 많은 거 알려준 거 아니에요?
Promise, last question.
Yeah.
So he has two questions of when in the uphill, you have to hit a high shot. How do you do that? And then second one is when, right now the sand's perfect, but
Yeah.
what if there's a lot of sand?
Okay, great questions. So if he's going to hit it really high, what I want him to do is open the face, drop the handle down and back. Yes, that way. And then he'll feel like it's overtaking much faster.
빠르게.
Not a ton. No, just a little bit. And just keep turning. The main thing is the setup. So he's not going to lean quite so much. There you go. And then just obviously big full swing. Very good. High enough?
이게 너 손을 낮추는 이유가 뭐냐면 페이스를 이 탄도를 최대한 높이려면 페이스를 많이 열어야 되잖아. 그럴 때 어떻게 되냐면 이 힐이 들려. 힐이 들리기 때문에 너가 손을 로우하게 만듭니다. 만약에 너가 손을 로우하지 않고 그냥 힐을 열면 당연히 이 힐이 들려 있잖아. 그러니까 이것 때문에 너 손을 로우하게 맞춥니다. 최대한 로프트를 활용하려고.
이게 높이 간 거 아니면 더 높게 치고 싶어? 딱 좋아?
좀 높이는 괜찮은데 좀 최대한 짧게 가려면
Oh, so he wants to go front pin. High in front.
You can do that. So take your setup. See how the face is staying open, so his left wrist is going to stay into extension more.
지금 크리스가 얘기하는 거는 셋업 때 최대한 너가 로프트를 많이 치기 위해서 클럽을 연 거를 낮추고 이거 치고 난 다음에도 너 로프트를 증가시키는 느낌이야. 너 그게 핵심이야. 지금 이거 어떤 동작을 할 때 왜 하는지를 알아야 되는데 최대한 로프트를 셋업 때 높이고 칠 때까지도 그 로프트를 더 증가시키는 방법을 배운 거야.
And then so here I've created more sand. When he's got lots of sand, he's not going to kick that 10%. He's just going to go 50-50 now, but don't kick forward. So what we're trying to do is shallow it out. So it's almost like he's going to sit on a horse this way. So the club goes more around him. So it'd be 50-50 with this.
50-50으로.
Yeah, there you go. Very good.
모래가 이렇게 많으면 땅이 이렇게 부드럽잖아. 그럴 때 어떤 실수가 많냐면 깊게 들어갔을 때 그냥 바로 앞에 떨어지잖아. 펄썩 나오잖아. 그래서 그 스윙 궤도를 완만하게 만들고 싶은 거야. 그래서 척추는 똑바로 세우고 왼쪽으로 기울어지면 채가 박히는 성질이 생기지. 그래서 우리가 그냥 일반적인 벙커 샷하고 다르게 모래가 부드러울수록 그냥 셋업을 똑바로 두거든. 그리고 너의 척추를 그냥 앉는 느낌. 그래야 더 샬로하게 움직이니까. 그럼 모래에 들어가는 양이 적어지겠지. 오케이. 그럼 바운스를 잘 이용하겠지? 좀 느낌 다르지?
If there's loads of sand and it's very fine, is go to his 54 because it's got more bounce.
오샤도.
He was using 54. Is he using 54? Was he just using 54?
야, 잘 치는데 어떻게 잘 치는데?
I mean, that ball was coming out super high for
아까 그
54.
슈퍼하이 54도로 계속 치던 거야?
잘 치는데?
Let's do the high. Let's do the high shot again. Nice. So let's do the high shot now. He's got the 58.
58도 많이 잡아야 돼. 58도 이거 아니야? 이거 잡아 58도. 58도.
이게 58.
아 이거 오케이.
그래서 54도 쳤어.
모르고 한 거지?
네.
오케이. 그럴 수 있어.
This is 58.
58.
Okay.
앞인 가.
Yeah.
오케이.
So he's just backing up enough to get it up in the air, and it's just not quite getting the contact on it. Right? He needs to stay left and keep the
아
face
이게
open.
너무 뒤로 가면 안 되고 앞에 있으면서 쳐야 돼.
There you go.
그렇지.
자, 우선은 크리스에게 제가 질문을 하나 하겠습니다. 국가대표 선수 안성현 선수를 본 소감을 한번.
Sung's probably one of the most impressive junior players I've ever been around. Now, I've been fortunate for the last 15 years to work with the best tour players in the world and the best juniors in the world, and Sung's certainly one of the best that I have ever seen. He works harder than anybody I've ever seen. He probably is technically more proficient than any junior of his age that I have ever seen. So the key for him now is to be patient and work on the scoring aspects. That means better mental process, it means getting better with the distance wedges, and more than anything is understanding the game of golf and how to put a really good score together, not just for a couple of holes, but for 4 consecutive rounds.
2009년생 우리나라 최대 유망주 선수가 pga코치 크리스메이슨을 만나고 필드에서 우리가 한번 배워봤는데
네.
어떤 소감이 어때요?
기대도 많이 하고 되게 기다려왔는데 되게 기대한 만큼 너무 좋은 레슨이었고 또 이 레슨 계기로 더 열심히 해서 또 훌륭한 선수가 되겠습니다.
끝으로 우리 통역도 맡아주시고 우리 안성현 선수를 코칭하고 있는 케니 프로 소감 한번 말씀해 주세요.
오늘 이렇게 크리스메이슨 코치님이 한국에 와서 또 코스에 또 한국 코스에 또 와서 좀 놀래긴 하더라고요. 너무 페어웨이가 좁고 해서. 그렇지만 이제 그거대로 또 성현이를 또 어떻게 코스 메인 점도 하고 또 어떤 연습을 해서 또 스코어링을 낼 수 있게 도움을 줘서 좀 도움이 많이 될 것 같아요. 그래서 훈련을 열심히 하겠습니다.
우리 오늘 출연해서 너무 감사드리고 이 영상이 여러분들에게 큰 의미가 있을 것 같고 우리 안성현 선수를 많이 응원해 주세요. 자, 화이팅!
화이팅!
감사합니다.
감사합니다.
WGP
안성현
화이팅!
화이팅!